Hello, I'm Aria. Welcome to my channel. Don't forget to subscribe and tap that bell icon so you never miss a post about Sister Wives. They say that tragedy puts people's true characters to the test, and when the unimaginable occurred, when Garrison Brown ended his life, followers of Sister Wives prepared for a raw emotional accounting from the Brown family. But what we saw instead wasn't a grieving father missing his son. It was a man engulfed in self-pity, blame, and a sense of entitlement, and it destroyed what little image was left of Kody Brown as a concerned patriarch. We're breaking down the moment that changed everything, because Kody Brown's reaction to Garrison's death wasn't just shocking, it was sickening, and fans have had enough. When cameras returned to the family after Garrison's passing, viewers expected grief, reflection, maybe even accountability from Kody. But what they got was something else entirely. In a moment when humility should have been the order of the day, Kody looked inward. He began blaming the family's rifts, blaming strained relationships, blaming all but himself. He didn't talk about who Garrison was. He didn't sound like a grieving father trying to understand his son's passing. Rather, Kody seized the moment to portray himself as the true victim. He grieved about how he was treated. He spoke of his suffering. He fumed with resentment, not against the tragedy, but against Janelle, and the world held its breath in outrage. Because, let's face it, Kody and Garrison's union had long since been broken years before Garrison died, and it all started with the pandemic, when Kody used COVID rules as a convenient loophole to quarantine himself in Robyn's house. He insisted the entire family follow strict rules that mysteriously only Robyn's household ever seemed to meet. Garrison, like his brother Gabe, pushed back. He wanted fairness, autonomy, and for his father to show up for everyone, not just Robyn's kids. But instead of meeting his sons with love or understanding, Kody met them with ultimatums: obey me or lose me. Eventually, Garrison stopped trying. He grew distant, and the hurt was clear to anyone who was observing. But it wasn't until after Garrison died that the brutal entirety of Kody's parenting was finally exposed. Fans were shocked. Social media went crazy. Reddit forums, YouTube analysis, Twitter outbursts. Everybody wanted to know the same thing. Where was the sorrow? Where was the regret? Because what they got instead was a man so busy being in the right, he could not even leave his ego long enough to respect his son's memory. And then came the punch that made everybody's blood boil. Kody sat down with Janelle, Garrison's mother, for the first time since the death of their son, and rather than deliver support, comfort, or love, he went after her. He blamed her for estrangement. He blamed her for usurping his position as a dad, as if she hadn't been shouldering the emotional burden of raising their children in isolation while he house-husbanded with Robyn. In a moment that should have created cohesion, Kody widened the rift. It was terrible, infuriating, and it uncovered a larger truth fans could no longer ignore. Even death couldn't penetrate Kody Brown's narcissism. Long before the Brown family broke apart on television, long before Garrison's passing revealed the underlying cracks, there had been one subtle force manipulating the reins all along: Robyn. While the show habitually portrayed her as emotional and not well understood, viewers who actually watched intently noticed something much more calculated: masterful control. And the worst part? She manipulated Kody's love to achieve it. Since the family relocated to Flagstaff, Robyn quietly but consistently separated Kody from his other wives and children. And when the pandemic struck, she had the perfect angle. Overnight, COVID regulations reigned supreme. Visits were conditional. Hugs were qualified, and the one house that always cleared the unseen hurdle? Robyn's. At first glance, it seemed like prudence, but before long, it became apparent. This had nothing to do with a virus. It was about control. Robyn wasn't shielding her family from sickness. She was shielding her role as Kody's sole emotional hub, and she did it by creating an unspoken rule access to Kody ran through Robin. Even Mary, who had been cast aside by Kody emotionally for years, found herself oddly pulled into Robin's orbit during this time, but not as a friend or equal. Robin used Mary like a pawn, a quiet symbol of loyalty, who posed no threat, someone who would praise her while not competing for Kody's attention. Mary was only welcome so long as she remained compliant and, most importantly, lonely, because Robin didn't want sister wives. She wanted subjects what she couldn't control. She pushed out, and no one resisted that control. More than Janelle, Robin never figured out how to handle her. Janelle was calm, direct, and fiercely independent. She didn't cry to Kody. She didn't beg for affection. She spoke up, and that made her dangerous. Robin, who constantly weaponized tears and vulnerability to keep Kody emotionally tethered, couldn't figure out how to manipulate a woman who didn't need his approval to feel whole, so Robin tried a different tactic. The family unity card. Any disagreement with her became a betrayal of the family. She reframed boundaries as abandonment and independence as disloyalty in her version of plural marriage. Unity only existed when everyone deferred to her. And Kody, he bought it hook, line, and sinker. Robin painted herself as the peacemaker. But fans saw the truth. She was the gatekeeper, and once she secured that role, she used it to build a wall around herself and Kody so high that even their own children couldn't climb it. This wasn't plural marriage anymore. It was a monarchy, and Robin had made herself queen. While Kody and Robin built walls of comfort and control around themselves, Janelle was waking up slowly, painfully to the truth. And what makes her story so powerful isn't just how deeply she was betrayed, but how fiercely she refused to collapse under it, even in the face of unimaginable grief. Janelle stood tall, anchored by love for her kids, and a quiet strength Kody never knew how to handle for years. Kody dangled the dream of a shared life on Coyote Pass like it was just around the corner. They'd build, they'd settle, they'd grow old in homes, side by side. Janelle bought in. She invested her time, her money, and her hope. She even gave up her rental home and moved into an RV on the raw Arizona land, something no one else in the family was willing to do. It was an act of faith, a woman saying, "I believe in this dream even if no one else does." But Kody didn't meet her with support. He met her with scorn rather than encouraging her. He mocked her decision. He complained about the heat, the dust, the lack of comfort. He made it clear he wasn't going to live in that RV with her. He wasn't even going to help. Meanwhile, Robin was settled in a massive luxury home, bought with the help of family funds, and Kody was there every night playing house, like it was their personal sitcom. The financial inequality became too loud to ignore. Robin had her house, her bills paid her kids. Chauffeured Janelle had land she couldn't build on, and promises that never materialized. And when she asked for access to her own money to finance her future, Kody boasted he wanted control over the assets, claiming unity, but practicing exclusion. Still, Janelle didn't explode. She didn't sob on camera or beg him to love her. Instead, she calmly called out the hypocrisy. She told the truth. She held Kody accountable to his own words, and when she saw he wasn't going to change, she walked even in the aftermath of Garrison's death, her heart broken in ways only a mother could understand. Janelle refused to be gaslit. Kody tried to twist the story to pin the estrangement on her, to shift the weight of guilt. But Janelle saw through it, and more importantly, so did the audience, because Janelle's strength wasn't loud. It was steady, and Kody's failure wasn't just as a husband, it was as a father who couldn't even rise to the moment his family needed him most. Before the family's collapse was fully visible, before Garrison's tragedy and Janelle's heartbreak were broadcast to the world, Christine had already seen the writing on the wall, years before the other wives were ready to admit what was happening. Christine saw the truth. Kody wasn't coming back, not emotionally, not financially, not as a father. She was the first to break free, not because she gave up, but because she finally realized she was fighting alone. Christine had always been the heart of the family, raising kids with joy and warmth, even when she didn't feel truly seen. But it was Isabel's spinal surgery that stripped away any illusion that Kody was still acting like a father. While his daughter faced a major medical procedure, terrified and vulnerable, Kody refused to go. He blamed CO. He blamed travel, but fans saw what it really was: a man choosing convenience and comfort over fatherhood. He stayed home with Robin while Christine and Isabel handled everything alone. It was a defining moment, and Christine never forgot it. Then came the battle for child support. Another shocking reveal for fans who assumed the show's wealth would cover basic responsibilities. But no, after their split, Christine had to take Kody to court just to force him to provide for Truly. A father who had earned years of reality TV paychecks, thanks to Christine's emotional labor, had to be dragged into supporting his youngest daughter. And all the while, Robin's household thrived. New furniture, expensive art, endless dolls. Christine wasn't just seeing favoritism, she was watching an entirely different standard of care. So she left quietly at first. But as she shared her journey with viewers, the cracks in the family's glossy facade became more visible than ever. Christine didn't hold back. She spoke the truth with clarity and calm. She didn't smear Kody. She simply told the truth, and that truth hit harder than any insult could in walking away. Christine set the blueprint. She proved that liberation was possible, that loyalty didn't have to mean martyrdom, and as Janelle and Mary followed in her footsteps, it became obvious the first one to leave was also the one who finally woke everyone up. Christine broke the spell, and Kody never saw it coming. If Christine shattered the fantasy. Mary is the haunting reminder that obedience never guaranteed love in Kody Brown's universe. For years, Mary played the role Kody claimed he wanted: silent, supportive, self-denying. She legally divorced him so he could marry Robin and adopt her kids. She defended Robin on camera when the family questioned her motives. She swallowed public humiliation after the catfish scandal, all to prove she was still a team player. Yet what did that perfect obedience buy her? A cold seat at family gatherings and a husband who told the nation, "I don't consider myself married to Mary anymore." The betrayal was breathtaking. Even when Mary donned masks for co-visits, wiped every surface, and followed every shifting rule, Robin still managed to bar the door, claiming it wouldn't be fair to the other wives' translation. Mary's presence threatened the private bubble Robin had built for herself. Robin's manipulation was subtle, but devastating. Keep Mary close enough to vote in family meetings, praise her loyalty for the cameras, then ghost her when real intimacy was on the line. Whenever optics demanded a united front, birthdays, holiday shoots, tell-alls, Robin draped an arm around Mary and called her best friend. But the minute the crew packed up, Mary was shunted back to the guest list, never the inner circle. It should have been obvious that Mary's currency was her loyalty, as prop for Robin's big happy family narrative when ratings needed drama. Robin dangled crumbs of affection, promises of late-night talks, half-offered surrogacy gestures, tears about wanting the wives together. But once Mary's usefulness waned and the other wives exited, the mask slipped. Robin stopped inviting Kody, stopped pretending, and Mary was left recognizing a brutal truth: she had sacrificed everything, only to be discarded when her loyalty no longer served their image. Mary's arc exposes the hollow core of Kody, and Robin's dynamic loyalty is demanded but never reciprocated. And for viewers who once saw Mary as desperate or naive, her quiet exit became a warning shot, showing exactly how little playing by the rules means. When the rules were rigged from the start, as the Brown family fractured, one truth stood out like a sore thumb: Robin's children lived in luxury, while the original kids, Christine's, Janelle's, and Mary's, scraped by or sacrificed everything for their basic needs. While Saul and Ari enjoy a $1 million home, private schooling, endless toys, and full-time access to both parents, Their older siblings were left to fend for themselves. Kids like Gabe and Garrison worked jobs in high school. Hunter, Madison, and Logan navigated college and military service without handouts. Isabel needed life-changing spinal surgery and still didn't get a plane ticket or support from her father, and truly her mom had to take Kody to court just to get child support. But it wasn't just the biological children of Robin who lived comfortably. Her older kids, Dayton, Aurora, and Brianna, received every opportunity dance classes, new cars, designer purses, and apparently endless emotional and financial support. Meanwhile, Mary paid for Leon's college. Janelle's kids shared bedrooms. Christine was watching her kids grow up with nothing, while Robin displayed shelves of porcelain dolls and abstract art in her custom-furnished home. The most insulting part, much of it was paid for with family money pulled from the original 3 wives who contributed for decades before Robin even entered the picture. But when it came time to share, Kody and Robin had a different definition of family. The disparity wasn't just visible, it was offensive, and fans never forgot it, as the dust settled from Garrison's tragic passing. What emerged wasn't grief, it was Kody's cold entitlement. Whispers swirled among fans that he had the audacity to ask for control over Garrison's estate, despite being emotionally absent in his son's final years. It was a chilling accusation, one that if true shattered any remaining illusion of fatherly care. Then came the televised sit-down with Janelle. Instead of mourning, Kody launched into rage, blaming her for the estrangement, raising his voice, and centering his pain over everyone else's. No humility, no remorse, just more self-pity. That moment broke the audience. This wasn't a grieving father. This was a man still clinging to ego and control, unwilling to face what his neglect cost his family. Whatever mask Kody had left, it slipped for good, and in its place was the raw truth: he was never the victim. He was the wrecking ball. What we witnessed in the aftermath of Garrison's death wasn't the heartbreak of a father. It was the unraveling of a man who built his world on control, not love. Kody Brown didn't just fail his son. He failed his entire family by putting his pride above their pain, rewriting history to protect his ego, and pouring all his energy into defending Robin while emotionally abandoning the children and wives who gave him everything. This wasn't plural marriage, it was emotional abuse, hidden behind religion and reality TV. Robin was always the exception. But why? Why did her kids get the comfort, the money, the support, while the others were left behind? The favoritism was never subtle. It was a sharp knife that cut through the family. One betrayal at a time, and now even tragedy couldn't soften Kody's heart. It's time to stop excusing this behavior. It's time for accountability. Families like the Browns exist in real life, and too many suffer in silence. If you've ever felt unseen, unloved, or manipulated by someone who claimed to lead with faith, you are not alone. Comment below with your thoughts. Subscribe to TLC Sister Wives News, and let's keep this conversation going. We see you, we hear you,